Disney is coming to the rescue of its struggling offshoot Euro Disney. This is the second time in 3 years the subsidiary is getting a lifetime, this time for 1 billion euros. Joining me now is the deal's correspondent, Paul Whitfield, who is following the story for us in Paris. Hi, Paul.
Hi, how are you doing?
Good. So the troubling economy in Europe is being closely watched by all investors, so it shouldn't be too much of a surprise that a theme park there is having a rough time. But the president of Euro Disney said Disneyland Paris is Europe's #1 tourist destination. So what more can be done to boost revenues if it's already the hottest ticket in town?
Yeah, it's worth taking a second to consider that. This Euro Disney takes in twice as many people as the Louvre each year, twice as many as St. Paul's Basilica in the Vatican. It's a big deal over here in terms of tourism, as unlikely as that seems. Look, their problem has always been that well, ever since they've launched the company, they've had this enormous amount of debt. They've had 1.75 billion as of today, and that's an awful lot of money going out just to debt servicing. So what today's deal does is strips around about a total of 50% of that out. There's two parts to it. Part of it's capital injection, so the parent will buy 420 million of new shares, as much as 420 million new shares, and then they'll exchange 600 million euros of debt for equity. I say as much as 420 million because they're going to invite the current shareholders, the long-suffering current shareholders, to participate in this as well, and they will buy pro rata or they'll buy whatever the current shareholders pro rata don't buy.
So even though that they have this specific plan to try to restructure this, you reported shares of Euro Disney, which operates Disneyland Paris, tumbled more than 20% following the announcement. So it sounds like shareholders aren't very optimistic that this can work.
Yeah, look, I'm a little confused by this because shareholders have an option here. So they will be offered 9 new shares for each share that they own. The shares are about 330 at open today. They will be allowed to sell the shares that they buy back to Disney World at 125 a share. So that means, in fact, that if they buy, so their original share will be worth 125, they'll be able to buy shares for €1 and sell each of those shares back to Euro Disney at 125. So they'll make 25 cents profit, 25 euro cents profit on each share guaranteed. That values their shares at 350 today. So there's an arbitrage opportunity in there if they want to pursue it.
So Disney US owns 40% of Euro Disney. It will defer certain loan payments until 2024. Does this mean they're committed to saving Euro Disney at least for the next 10 years?
Yeah, they are. I mean, Euro Disney is it's a mess of a company. It's 22 years since its launch. It's never made a profit. It was meant to be 3 parks by now. There's still 2, and they're not going to be building a 3rd one in any hurry. But what it does for Disney is it gives them a presence over here in Europe, which is great for marketing purposes, great for pushing their films, etc., etc. They own 40%. They will own as much as 100% of the company if everybody takes up their option to sell them back their shares. Look, they're going to save the company. They're going to invest in the company. They're upgrading the hotels, upgrading the park, in the hope of being able to charge more for it, of course, and one day return it to profit. If they do take over the entirety of the company, one thing that will happen is that Euro Disney, which is owned or controlled by Disney World but not owned by it, will stop paying licensing fees back to Disney. That will be enough to basically return them to profit, as long as they also strip out this debt.
Fantastic. Thanks, Paul, for sharing your thoughts with us.
You're welcome.
For The Street, I'm Susanna Lee in New York.